Hello students. So far in the chapter related to consumer behavior, we have dealt with cardinal utility analysis, the assumptions of cardinal utility analysis, the law of diminishing marginal utility, consumer's equilibrium while he is consuming a single commodity, and also equimarginal utility and consumer's equilibrium while he or she is consuming more than one commodity. Now we are going to derive the law of demand from the cardinal utility analysis. For this, we can use either the law of diminishing marginal utility or the law of equimarginal utility. The law of demand states that there is an inverse relationship between price and quantity demanded of a commodity. When price increases, quantity demanded falls. And this relation we are deriving from the cardinal utility analysis. The cardinal utility analysis states that the consumer will be in equilibrium while consuming more than two commodities when the ratio of marginal utility of one commodity to its price equal to ratio of marginal utility of another commodity to its price, which is equal to marginal utility of money expenditure. This can be written like this: marginal utility. The consumer is consuming two commodities, commodity X and Y. Marginal utility of X is the MU of X is the marginal utility derived by consuming X. P of X is the price of X. Is equal to MU of Y is the marginal utility derived by consuming Y. Y is the price of commodity Y, which is equal to marginal utility of money expenditure. Marginal utility of money expenditure. So this is the equality. So this is where the consumer will stop consumption. Okay. And now suppose that the price changes or the price falls. Here, price of X falls. So P of X is lower. So what happens? MUX by P of X is greater than MUY by P of Y. That is, there is an inequality between MUX by P of X and MUY by P of Y, or MUX by P of X is not equal to MUY by P of Y. Actually, what happens when Px falls, MUX by P of X will be greater than MUY by P of Y. P of Y. So we have an inequality here, and the consumer is not in equilibrium. Consumer is not in equilibrium. The same thing we can show arithmetically. Suppose MUX was 12 units by consuming commodity X equal 12 units of satisfaction, and price of X is 3, and MU of Y is 18. That is, by consuming commodity Y, he derived 18 units of satisfaction, and the price of Y is 6. So MUX by P of X, MUY by P of Y. We know that the value 12 by 3 is 4, 18 by 6 is 3. So obviously this is not in equilibrium. This is not in equilibrium. MUX by P of X is greater than MUY by P of Y, what we have shown here. So this is a state of disequilibrium. So what should happen? Economic theory states that the consumer will move to an equilibrium. So in order for the consumer to move to equilibrium, either MU of Y should increase. If it increases to 24, then consumer will be back in equilibrium. But we know that from the law of diminishing returns that there is no way that marginal utility can increase. Okay, there is no way that marginal utility can increase. And so what happens? The consumer has to, by consuming more, consumer has to limit or reduce the consumption of commodity X. Suppose the consumer has to increase the consumption of commodity X so that its marginal utility falls. Suppose consumer decides to consume one more unit of X. When one more unit of X is consumed, the law of diminishing marginal utility says that the additional utility derived by the consumer will fall. The additional utility derived by the consumer will fall. So from 12, marginal utility of X falls probably to 9. We have a ratio MUX by P of X is 3. MUX by P of X, 9 by 3 is equal to 3, which is equal to 18 by 6. So here, in order to equate the ratio of marginal utility of X to price of X, marginal utility of X and price of X with the marginal utility of Y by price of Y, the consumer has increased consumption of the commodity whose price has fallen. Here, because there was an inequality between the ratio of marginal utility of X to price of X and between marginal utility of Y by price of Y, due to a fall in the price of X, the consumer increased the consumption of X so that corresponding to a fall in the price of X, there was also a fall in the marginal utility derived from X. So the ratio remains the same, or the consumer additionally consumes so much quantities of X that ratio remains the same. The ratio goes back to equilibrium, and this is the relationship which we will use to derive the law of demand and the demand curve. We'll do diagram now. So this is the logic. This is the logic by which we derive the law of demand. Okay. So we have a two-quadrant diagram here. We have a two-quadrant diagram here. A two-quadrant diagram here. In the first quadrant, we measure MUX by P of X on the y-axis. MUX by P of X on the y-axis. On the second axis, we measure price. On the second quadrant, we measure price on the x-axis. Price on the y-axis and quantity on the x-axis. And here we also have quantity. So this is the curve which shows MUX by PX1. PX1. So this is a particular situation, and this shows the constant marginal utility of money. Constant marginal utility of money. This straight line shows that marginal utility of money is same throughout. Marginal utility of money is same throughout. This is the equilibrium point of the consumer, where it consumes a certain quantity. For example, Q1 of X. The consumer is consuming Q1 of X because when he is consuming Q1 quantities, MUX by P of X is equal to marginal utility of money given by OH. MUX by P of X is given by this line, MUX by PX1, and marginal utility of money is given by this right line, OH. So here, while consuming Q1 quantities of X, the consumer is in equilibrium. MUX by PX1 is equal to marginal utility of money expenditure. At price PX1, suppose this is price PX. Suppose this is price PX1. At PX1 price, the consumer is consuming Q1 quantity. Get a point here. Okay, so from this Q1, we measure corresponding point on the second quadrant and measure Q1 on here, point to Q1 here. So this is the Q1 quantity, and PX1 is the price. We have price on the y-axis, and we find PX1 price on the y-axis and find the corresponding point. This combination PX1 Q1, PX1 Q1, PX1 Q1, PX1 Q1. Now suppose there is a fall in the price of X. There is a fall in the price of X from PX1 to PX2. So what happens? The MU of X by PX curve shifts outwards. Now MUX by PX2. The new curve is MUX by PX2. Price has fallen from PX1 to PX2. So the MUX by PX2 shift outwards. By consuming the same commodity, the MUX by PX1 is higher now. Okay, so this is the change that has happened. Now the important thing to note is the equilibrium of the consumer. What has happened to the equilibrium of the consumer? Because price has fallen, now the ratio MUX by P of X is not equal to marginal utility of money expenditure. Now at Q1 quantity, if the consumer is consuming Q1 quantities even now, MUX by P of X is this much, or if you measure here, and marginal utility of money expenditure is only OH. So MUX by P of X is greater than marginal utility of money expenditure, and it is profitable or it is gainful to the consumer, or it provides him more utility if he consumes more of the commodity. And so he goes on consuming additional units of X until MUX by P of X2 is equal to OH, or marginal utility of money expenditure. It happens at Q2 or when the consumer is consuming Q2 units of the commodity. So when consuming Q2, MUX by PX2 is equal to marginal unit of money expenditure. So we have got another combination of price PX2 and quantity Q2. Price PX2 and quantity Q2. We have quantity Q2 here and price PX2. PX2 is less than PX1. PX2 is less than PX1. So it is below PX1 somewhere here, and we have another point here. Okay. Now suppose price falls once again. Price of X falls once again to PX3. So what happens? MUX by PX3. The ratio curve shifts again outwards. Now price is PX3. Marginal utility MUX by PX3 shifts outwards. If the consumer continues to consume Q2, then MUX by P of X will be this much. This will be the MUX by P of X, PX3, whereas the marginal utility of money expenditure is only this much. So the ratio of marginal utility to price is greater than marginal utility of money expenditure. Again, it is more gainful to the consumer to add commodity X to his consumption basket because it will increase his total utility. Because there is a positive difference between the ratio of marginal utility and price and marginal utility of money expenditure. So he goes on consuming more and more of X until marginal utility of X by PX3 is equal to marginal utility of money expenditure at this point. And this point is consuming Q3. So we mark Q3 here on the second quadrant, and this Q3 is consumed when price falls to PX3. So we have a combination of PX3 price, Q3 quantity. PX3 price and Q3 quantity. Q3 quantity is marked by PX3 price is lower than PX2, and we mark PX3 here. Corresponding point is here. PX3 price and Q3 quantity. So PX1 price, Q1 quantity, PX2 price, Q2 quantity, PX3 price, Q3 quantity. Initially, the marginal utility by price curve was represented by MUX by PX1 and equilibrium between MUX by PX1 and marginal utility of money expenditure took place when the consumer was consuming Q1 of X. When price of commodity X fell to PX2, marginal utility of X by PX curve shifted to MUX by PX2 outwards. New equilibrium is established when the consumer is consuming QT quantities at PX2 price. We mark a point here, QT quantities at PX2 price. Then again price of X falls to PX3, marginal utility of X by PX curve shifts to MUX by PX3 outwards. New equilibrium is happening at Q3. And this Q3 is consumed when price is PX3. We have price PX3, quantity Q3. So we have got 3 points here. When we are connecting all these points, we get the demand curve. And the demand curve shows different quantities of a commodity consumed or different quantities of a commodity that are demanded by the consumer at different prices. So this is this price, this much will be demanded. When price is PXN, this will be demanded. And so at each price, a certain quantity of the commodity will be demanded, and we have got the demand curve. And this demand curve we derived from the Cardinal utility analysis or consumer's equilibrium. And this is how we derive the demand curve or the law of demand. So we have established that consumer increases his consumption of a commodity when its price falls. And why does the consumer increases the consumption? Because as its price falls? Because there is an inequality between the ratio of marginal utility and price. In order for the consumer to be back in equilibrium, he has to consume more of the commodity. When he consumes more of the commodity, its marginal utility falls, and MUX by P of X also falls and gets into equilibrium with the marginal utility of money expenditure, and therefore consumer is back in equilibrium. In the process of achieving or re-establishing the equilibrium of the consumer consumes more of the commodity as its price falls. So why the consumer consumes more of the commodity as price falls? Because he wants to re-establish the equilibrium, or he wants to maximize the utility, total utility that he derives by consuming the commodity. Okay, thank you.